Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Hi, welcome to Categories. Today we're bringing you a competition between the two oldest schools in the Shawnee Mission School District as the Shawnee Mission East Lancers take on the Shawnee Mission North Indians. Let's go ahead and meet our competitors. First from East.
Hi, I'm Carl and I'm a senior.
I'm Henry and I'm a junior.
I'm Kevin and I'm a senior.
I'm Brian and I'm also a senior.
I'm Michelle and I'm also a senior.
And our competitors from North.
Hi, I'm Goldia Kiddick and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm John Swaggerty, and I'm a senior.
Scott Johnson, and I'm a senior.
Jenna Hager, and I'm a senior.
Joe Rubinek, and I'm a junior.
Fantastic. Here in the first round of categories, we will take turns answering questions. The team that answers, well, if you answer the question correctly, you earn a point. If they respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal that category. We did a coin toss before we started taping. It was won by the Lancers. So Lancers, here's the first category, movies. Senator Mark Antony, Colonel Kurtz, Jor-El, Stanley Kowalski, and Vito Corleone. What actor played them all? Kevin?
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando, very good. North, your first category is math. The Babylonians invented it, the Greeks banned it, the Hindus worshipped it, and the church used it to fend off heretics. What number am I describing? John.
0?
It is 0. Nice job. You still get the point. Back to you, Lancers, with U.S. cities. Of the top 10 cities with the longest underground railroad networks or subway systems, 2 are in the United States. Name both cities. Brian.
New York and Chicago.
Those are the 2. Very good. Indians, back to you with U.S. history. After John F. Kennedy federalized the National Guard and sent in Army troops, an African-American student was finally registered at the University of Mississippi on October 1st, 1962. Name that student. Time on that. Lancers, chance to steal this U.S. history category. After John F. Kennedy federalized the National Guard and sent in Army troops, Brian.
Jim Smith.
It's not Jim Smith. It's James Meredith. Had the first name right. Lancers, you do get the next category. It is German history. West German Chancellor Helmut Kohl and his 1983 challenger Hans-Joachim Vogel both belonged to what Nazi military group when they were teenagers during World War II? Membership was required of all non-Jewish Germans over the age of 14. Brian.
The Hitler Youth.
The Hitler Youth is correct. Indians, back to you with art. A famous sculpture, The Gates of Hell, consists of a set of bronze doors. Its figurehead is even a more famous work of art all by itself. It represents the pondering Dante. Name both this celebrity of sculpture and its creator. Lancers, you have a chance to steal this art category. A famous sculpture, The Gates of Hell, consists of a set of bronze doors. Its figurehead is even more famous work of art all by itself. It represents the pondering Dante. Name both this celebrity of sculpture and its creator. Kevin.
Rodin, and I'm not sure actually.
I'm sorry, I cannot take that. You did have the sculptor or the creator correctly, but the sculpture is The Thinker by Rodin. East, it does come back to you with U.S. government. In the United States, whose term of office is longest? Is it governor, president, senator, or congressman? Carl.
Senator.
Senator. Back to you, Indians, with current events. Name the famed British street artist who ended his month-long residency. John.
Banksy.
It is Banksy. Lancers, geography is your category. In which continent is Guinea?
South America.
I'm sorry, it is not South America. Indians, chance to steal this geography category. In which continent is Guinea? Scott?
Africa.
It is Africa. Indians, you do get the next category. It's food. What major source of food energy, the major sources of food energy come from carbohydrates. All carbohydrates fall into two main classes. Name them. Joe.
Simple and complex.
Sorry, I cannot accept that. Lancers, you have a chance to steal this food category. The major sources of food energy come from carbohydrates. All carbohydrates. Brian?
Dry and wet.
Cannot accept dry and wet. We're looking for sugars and starches. Sugars and starches. Science is the next category. Again, this time for you, Lancers. An echo is defined as a reflection of a sound wave back to its source, strong enough and late enough to be distinguished from the original sound. What word in acoustics means the continuation of sound in a closed space due to repeated echoes? Brian.
Reverberation.
Reverberation, very good. North, you have the next category. It's good health. Though aerobic exercise is important to make heart work more efficiently, what other type of exercise is also recommended for people, especially as they age? John.
Anaerobic exercise?
Need to be more specific, please.
I can't.
Sorry, cannot accept that. East, category goes back to you with good health. Though aerobic exercise is important to make the heart work more efficiently, what other type of exercise is also recommended for people, especially as they age? Michelle.
Endurance.
I'm sorry, I cannot accept endurance either. We're looking for strength training specifically, and I would also accept flexibility or stretching. Lancers, we are going to go back to you with economics as a category. Entitlement spending cannot be lowered or eliminated. What broad category of federal spending can be raised, lowered, or eliminated by congressional action? Henry.
Subsidies.
Cannot accept subsidies. North, back to you with this economics question. Entitlement spending cannot be lowered or eliminated. What broad category of federal spending can be raised, lowered, or eliminated by congressional action? John.
Grants?
I cannot accept grants. We're looking for discretionary spending. Discretionary. North, we're going back to you with the geography category. The first 1,000 settlers have left Independence, Missouri on the Oregon Trail in 1843. And also an estimated 350,000 made that 2,000-mile trek over the next 25 years. Not including Oregon or Missouri, what 4 other states did the Oregon Trail cross? John.
Kansas, Nebraska, Idaho, and Colorado.
Sorry, cannot accept that. Lancers, chance to steal this geography question. The first 1,000 settlers left Independence, Missouri on the Oregon Trail in 1843. And also an estimated 350,000 made the 2,000-mile trek over the next 25 years, not including Oregon and Missouri. Brian.
Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, and Idaho.
Sorry, that too is incorrect. Wyoming, Kansas, Nebraska, Idaho are the 4. Both you guys got 3 out of 4. Lancers, you do get the next category, and it is history. Put the following events in chronological order. Calvin Coolidge elected president, stock market crashed, and the Black Sox scandal. Brian.
Coolidge, Black Sox, stock market crash.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Indians, chance to steal this history category. Put the following events in chronological order. Calvin Coolidge elected president, stock market crashed, and the Black Sox scandal. John.
Black Sox, Calvin Coolidge elected, stock market crash.
That is the correct order. Indians, back to you with on the road for a category. Crystal City, Texas is known as the spinach capital of the world. What did this town do to commemorate their spinach crop? John?
Make a giant statue of Popeye.
That is exactly the answer. Back to it's awesome. Lancers, you do get the next category. It is music. Old Man River was written by the show team of Oscar Hammerstein and Jerome Kern. Name both the show and the river immortalized in that song. Brian?
The show would be Oklahoma and the river was the Mississippi.
Sorry, cannot accept that. Indians, chance to steal this music category. Old Man River was written by the show team of Oscar Hammerstein and Jerome Kern. Name both the show and the river immortalized in the song. Time on that. It is the Mississippi River, but the show was Showboat. Showboat. North, back to you with language, specifically computer language. What two computer languages are used to write the code for Word and other Microsoft applications? Lancers, chance to steal this computer language question. What two computer languages are used to write the code for Word and other Microsoft applications? Kevin?
C++ and Java.
Sorry, cannot accept that. C++ is one, the other is Visual Basic. Visual Basic. Lancers, you do get the next category. It is energy. The future of the future use of non-renewable energy sources will create environmental problems. Name two alternatives to fossil fuels. Henry?
Wind and solar.
Wind and solar. Nuclear would be included, so would hydroelectric and geothermal. North, back to you. Spelling is the category. How do you spell moccasin? Goldia?
M-O-C-A-S-I-N.
Sorry, that is incorrect. Lancers, chance to steal this spelling category? Looks like Henry.
M-O-C-C-A-S-I-N.
That is true. Moccasin. Very good. And with that siren, that does denote the end of our first half. And we have a score of Shawnee Mission East 7 to Shawnee Mission North 5. At this time in our program, we will go to a member of each of the teams, and they will give us a campus update of what is happening around their community and their high school. So first we have Brian from Shawnee Mission East. Brian, what's happening with the Lancers?
Well, we've got a lot going on in both the sports and the arts. Our football team just picked up their 9th win, making them the most successful team in East history. So we're very proud of our football boys. And the theater department just wrapped up their fall play, The Children's Hour, which was very successful. And they're preparing for the winter musical, which is Shrek, so you should come see it.
Shrek. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Shawnee Mission North, it looks like we have Goldia is going to give us the campus update. What's happening with the Indians?
Well, we have a food drive going on until November 22nd, and rehearsal for our winter musical Spam-A-Lot just started. And we have an ART show starting next week. That's our improv group.
All right. Fantastic. So we have two great shows coming up to the Shrek and Spam-A-Lot. That's outstanding. Well, I know what I'm going to be doing this winter. Fantastic. As we head into our second round, it is our lightning round. We are going to start it off with our look and listen question. We have a monitor here in our studio for the contestants to watch and also to listen to the clue. It is worth 2 points. Once again, it is the beginning of our lightning round, so once I have finished reading the question, either team can buzz in to guess or give me the correct answer. So both teams, here we go for this week's look and listen. This climber's right hand is, and it's multiple choice, is it pulling him up, balancing him, breaking him from falling, or setting a carabiner? Kevin?
Breaking him from falling.
Breaking him from falling is correct. And so 2 points is awarded to East. Now for the remainder of the lightning round, we will place a question on the floor for either team to answer. If a team responds correctly, they earn a point for their team. If they respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal that point. Here we go. We're starting it off with a health category for both teams. How should a frost-bitten hand be treated? Should it be soaked in the hottest water tolerable, soaked in lukewarm water, soak in 40-degree Fahrenheit water, or rub briskly until circulation comes back? Kevin?
Soaked in lukewarm water.
Lukewarm water, very good. Current events for both teams. The winners of the men's and women's races in the New York City Marathon, Jeffrey Mutai and Priska Jeptu, are both from which country? Scott.
Kenya.
They're both from Kenya. U.S. history for both teams. John Hancock's signature on the Declaration of Independence may be the boldest, but only 2 signers of the Declaration served as president. Name both. Kevin.
Thomas Jefferson and John Adams.
Those are the 2. Very good. Both teams, definitions is the category. What's the word used to describe your arms when the hands are placed on the hips with the elbows bent outward? It's akimbo. Akimbo. Share that with your family tonight. Literature is the next category. Literature for both teams. Shirley Jackson's famous short story, The Lottery, deals with a horrifying ritual. What is the horrendous deed the townspeople participate? Brian.
Stoning.
A stoning. Very good. Music for both teams. The 5 movements are, respectively, Sunrise, The Painted Desert, On the Trail, Sunset, and Cloudburst. Which composition by Ferde Grofe celebrates the natural attraction in Arizona? It's Grand Canyon Suite. Grand Canyon Suite. Aviation is the next category for both teams. What's the company name on the record-setting XP-59 jet and the Jet Ranger 3 helicopter? Carl.
Boeing.
It is not Boeing. North, chance to steal this aviation category. What's the company name on the record-setting XP-59 jet and the Jet Ranger 3 helicopter? It's Bell. Bell. Next category for both teams. Name the year is the category. The following 3 headlines all appeared in the same year. I need you to identify the year. It's Balfour Declaration promised Jews a Jewish homeland in Palestine, Tsar Nicholas abdicates, and Russian Revolution begins. Michelle.
1917.
1917. Science for both teams. Pressure upon an enclosed fluid is transmitted without change to every part of the fluid. Hydraulic brakes are an example of this fact, called what? It's Pascal's law. Pascal's law. Music is the next category. In what key is George Gershwin's famous jazz concerto for piano? Kevin?
B-flat major.
Isn't that B-flat major? North, chance to steal this music category. In what key is George Gershwin's famous jazz concerto for piano? John?
G sharp.
It is not G sharp. We're looking just for F. F. Geography for both teams. The oak named for it is actually a flowering herb. The cherry named for it is actually a poisonous berry of the nightshade family, while the artichoke named for it actually is a perennial sunflower. Name this disputed Middle Eastern city. Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Math for both teams. How many cups are there in 1/8 of a gallon? Brian.
2.
It is 2. Food is the next category. What group of people invented popcorn? Scott?
Native Americans.
Native Americans. Very good. Science is the next category. In zoology, what term means situated near or toward the front or head of an animal body? Anterior. Anterior. Poetry is the next category. Which of Longfellow's poems was inspired by his ancestry? The Courtship of Miles Standish. American history for both teams. What American institution was founded with funds provided by an Englishman who had never visited the United States? He wanted to, in quotes, increase and diffusion of knowledge among men. John.
Harvard.
It is not Harvard. Lancers, chance to steal this American history question. What American institution was founded with funds provided by an Englishman who had never visited the United States? He wanted to... Kevin?
Yale.
It is not Yale. It's the Smithsonian Institution. Smithsonian. Automobiles for both teams. I'm going to describe the logo for this particular company. A prancing stallion on a yellow... John?
Mustang?
I'm looking for Mustang. Lancers, chance to steal this automobiles category. Brian?
Ferrari.
It is Ferrari. Current events for both teams. Give the name of the democratically elected president of Egypt who was removed by the military. Brian?
Mohamed Morsi.
That is correct. Geography again for both teams. With the completion of the 1986 Delta project, all of its main branches in the Netherlands were closed off to prevent actual flooding. Its headstreams are in the Alps, and it forms the boundary between Switzerland and Liechtenstein, and Switzerland and Austria. Name it. Kevin?
The Danube.
It is not the Danube. North, chance to steal this geography question. With the completion of the 1986 Delta project, all of its main branches in the Netherlands were closed off to prevent actual flooding. Its headstreams are in the Alps, and it forms the boundary between Switzerland and Liechtenstein, and Switzerland and Austria. Name it. It's the Rhine River, the Rhine. Medicine for both teams. Dr. Jonas Salk developed a vaccine for polio by injection. Who invented the oral method of polio vaccination? Dr. Albert Sabin. U.S. presidents for both teams. Published in 1855, the Ostend Manifesto called for the U.S. to take Cuba by force if Spain refused to sell it. The minister to Britain, instrumental in the creation of that document, later became president of the United States. Who was he? Scott?
Teddy Roosevelt.
It's not Teddy Roosevelt. Lancers, chance to steal this U.S. president's category. Published in 1855, the Ostend Manifesto calls for... Kevin?
William McKinley.
It is not McKinley. It is James Buchanan. James Buchanan. Biology for both teams. Many species of vultures inhabit all the continents. One of the most common, or the most common behavioral characteristic is, let me start that over. Many species of vultures inhabit all the continents. What is one of the most common behavioral characteristics unique to all vultures? Brian?
Scavenging.
Let me get a judge ruling on this one. Scavenging will accept scavenging, or they eat meat killed by others, so we will take that. Literature for both teams. Starts with a quote. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediment. Whose sonnet number 116 begins with these words? Michelle?
William Shakespeare.
It is Shakespeare. Very good. Defined, the next question for both teams is spelling. Defined as a painless death through suicide or mercy killing. Spell euthanasia. Carl?
EUTHANASIA.
Very good. Sports is the next category for both teams. Name the only two starting quarterbacks to have won 4 Super Bowls. Henry?
Tom Brady and John Elway.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. North, chance to steal this sports category. Name the only 2 starting quarterbacks to have won 4 Super Bowls. Time on that, it's Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana are the two. And with that siren, that does denote the end of our game today with the final score of Shawnee Mission East 19 to Shawnee Mission North 7. Please join us again here on Categories, as next time we will continue to bring you the best and brightest minds of high school students all throughout Johnson County.